Hey everyone, my name is Ben Chaish, and if you've watched one of my videos, you know that this is normal, but a little bit abnormal. I'm actually packing up for a wedding and realized that I was going to do a video on my way out. I'm doing a wedding on Orcas Island up in the San Juans, if you want to look up where that is. And part of it is I have to take a ferry up there, so I thought I'd do a little lens testing, and the lens that I have, which I'm super excited about, is the VOIGTLANDER 50mm f2 APO-LANTHAR. It's sort of Voigtlander's version of Leica's $8,000 50mm APO lens, which is supposed to just be one of the best lenses of all time. And from what I've used this on so far, I can say that this lens is absolutely fantastic. But want to do a quick little intro because I'm going to sort of take you guys with me, and we're going to shoot some stuff while on the island and on the ferry and stuff to do some testing. And also, now that I'm looking at this, I have a new strap from Clever Supply Co. It is an adjustable strap. I know a lot of people have been asking for that, and so their owner Todd sent me actually a prototype over, and I made some kind of suggestions for modifications, and he instantly made those and sent them over to me. And then I think those modifications are happening on the final product, which is awesome, which is I feel amazing about. So if you are interested in this, I'll put a link in the description. I think they are on pre-order right now, so if you're interested, check that out. But anyway, we are going to check out the VOIGTLANDER 50mm APO-LANTHAR, do some landscapes and stuff like that on the LEICA M10. So pretty excited about this one, and let's get rolling. All right, so this is the VOIGTLANDER 50mm f2 APO-LANTHAR. It is a little bit long, but still super lightweight, super portable, and it balances pretty darn well. It was definitely a joy to use, felt great. I'll do a full review, so if anybody has any questions, you guys can definitely let me know. This is it mounted on my Leica M10 and kind of my classic setup. I'm also using my Cascade presets as well as Cascade LUTs actually on my Canon R6 footage, so if anybody's interested in those, they will be linked in the description down below. But the thing about this is, sure, it's an f2, but you can see there's a lot of really good detail and character as well on the lens. You get a ton of just micro contrast, and you know, the whole APO thing, apochromatic. I don't know a lot about how it works. I've been trying to nerd out about it a little bit with lens design and optics and everything, but you just notice a lot less chromatic aberration. It's pretty much as close as you can get to being a more perfect kind of lens. But when people say perfect, they usually mean, you know, sterile and clinical and whatever. But I did find this lens had a lot of character and was really great to use, good micro contrast, all that good stuff. So not to kind of spoil the review eventually, but that's where we're headed. So if anybody hasn't actually been out to Washington State and been on one of these ferries, it's definitely something I, recommend a lot. It's one of those things that I've lived around them all my life and sort of take for granted, but it is a really cool experience. And what's interesting is with the pandemic and everything like that, there's just been a lot less of travel and everything like that anyway, so it was kind of a little bit surreal to see everything, I don't know, more shut down and not as crowded and everything like that. Back to the lens though, you can definitely see that there's just so much sharpness and micro contrast, but it is again bizarre that there's just no one in these seats. You know, they're usually pretty packed, pretty slammed.
I want to remind you that face coverings are mandatory in all public indoor and outdoor spaces in Washington. Maintain a social distance of at least 6 feet between yourself and other passengers. Leave washing your hands, covering your mouth for coughs and sneezes, and staying home and avoiding travel if feeling ill will go a long way to slowing the spread of COVID-19. We thank you for your cooperation and wish you safe and happy travels.
I feel like, this is one of those lenses that gives you more of that medium format look just because there's so much detail out of the lens that it kind of works really well for landscapes like this. But even in there, you see that there's still going to be separation between the subject and the backdrop if you're shooting it wide open in f2. So like I said earlier, all of the photos on this were processed with my Cascade presets. These ones that have this kind of a more like bluish look to them are a kind of play off of that Cinestill 800T, Kodak Vision 3 500T, you know, tungsten balanced look. These are definitely in beta of sorts, so I feel like they're coming together pretty well though, and I'm really liking the results out of them, but I'll be doing some more testing. So if you guys like those presets, let me know if you're interested in them, because I think they're a little bit more unique and kind of interesting, but want to know if it's actually worth putting out there into the world for sure. That was one of my favorites from the shoot for sure. I think doing experiments like this too, and just getting out and making a little, you know, the ferry ride's like probably less than an hour or so, and just getting out and trying to make some images while you wait for a ferry or while you're on a ferry or something. It's always a really, really good kind of photographic practice of sorts to try to make something interesting, or in this case, try to make, I don't know, 30 or 40 interesting images, which not all of them are going to be, but it's definitely a good practice for sure. Love that red and that blue kind of combo there. And to the end. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions about this lens. I'm going to be doing a review on it soon. So if you have any questions about that, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, thanks again, and I will see you on the next one.